If I could only give you one piece of advice, as a neurospicy astrologist obsessed with pattern recognition data and then has now studied over 2,000 birth charts, it would be this. If you want to change your life with astrology, you don't have to work with your sun, moon or rising. You are going to work on making your chart as dynamic as possible. And the way you're doing that is by working with your chart ruler. So first up, a quick recap on how to find your chart ruler. Your chart ruler is the planet that rules the sign that your ascendant is in. And I'll go through them rapid fire. If you have an Aries ascendant, it is Mars. Taurus ascendant is Venus. Gemini ascendant is Mercury. Cancer ascendant is the moon. Leo ascendant is the sun. Virgo ascendant is Mercury. Libra ascendant is Venus. Scorpio ascendant is Mars. Sagittarius ascendant is Jupiter. Capricorn and Aquarius ascendants both have Saturn, and Pisces ascendant is also Jupiter. For this, we're only using the traditional 7 planets, and that is why we don't include Neptune, Uranus or Pluto. Now, how do you work with your chart ruler? Well, it's quite easy. You find which one it is and you listen to my video about that. So this video is going to focus on Saturn, and it is helpful and you can take something away with it even if Saturn isn't your ruling planet. But I've made one of these videos for every single one of the planets. So just click on the link in the playlist and find your planet. Let's get into Saturn. Now, if I've popped up on your For You page a couple of times, you probably know that I have a little bit of a crush on Saturn. Any planet, if I could only date one planet, it would probably be Saturn. But what I absolutely love about Saturn is not that it's a hard taskmaster, that it doesn't give instant gratification. I love it because it is completely focused on showing you what kind of structure helps you succeed. That is why your Saturn return has such a massive effect on your life, because Saturn is showing you without all the fuzziness where you can be most successful. Now, the way you keep Saturn happy is you stop forcing discipline, because forced discipline is unsustainable. You instead build the kind of structure that your Saturn can actually stick to, not someone else's Saturn. And I'm going to give you the rundown of every single sign so you know exactly what costume your Saturn is wearing. Saturn in Aries needs courage. It really struggles with waiting to feel you're completely ready before you move. It builds best when you take small measured steps and have brave actions, even if they're tiny, before your confidence arrives. Bravery first, confidence will follow. Saturn in Taurus needs stability. It really struggles with holding on to things that no longer serve you. So you build best when you create slow, dependable systems over many years that can support you for years to come. Gemini Saturn, this is one of the most interesting Saturn signs. So a Gemini Saturn needs mental structure. It feels a little bit counterintuitive, but it really struggles with scattered thinking and information overload. You build best when you organize your ideas and focus on clear communication. Saturn in Cancer, oh boy, you need emotional security. You really struggle with taking responsibility for everyone else's emotions and feelings. You build best when you create healthy emotional boundaries before you're trying to care for others. I always say to my Cancer Saturn friends, family and clients, when you start a new project or when you do something for someone else, at the start, have a mental idea of what the boundaries are, because otherwise you might run into a situation that you don't want to. Saturn in Leo, this Saturn needs self-belief. It really struggles with a fear of being judged or seen. You build best when you consistently share your gifts with the world, even if you don't feel completely ready yet or confident. Leos are made for the spotlight. Even if you don't want it, you're made for it, so step into the spotlight. Saturn in Virgo, another boy. So Saturn in Virgo needs systems. It is not optional. It really struggles with perfectionism and delaying progress because you are being a perfectionist. So you build best when you focus on consistency instead of perfection. Just change your barometer and life will change, I promise you. Saturn in Libra. Now you need fair boundaries. You really struggle with carrying the weight of everyone else, carrying their expectation and their tasks. You build best when your commitments feel balanced and they feel mutually respected, which is difficult, but you can do it. I believe in you. Saturn in Scorpio, I like this one. It's difficult, but I like it because it's powerful. Saturn in Scorpio needs trust. You really struggle with trying to control every single outcome, which is just unrealistic. You build best when you accept that real strength is a mixture of both vulnerability and resilience. Sometimes you just need to be vulnerable, Scorpio. Sagittarius Saturn. Now you guys need direction. You really struggle with chasing freedom and being hesitant to commit. But you build best when you give your big, massive vision and plan a practical roadmap. Very few things in life that are grand and are ambitious is achieved without a plan. Ask your Virgo Saturn bestie to help you with this. Saturn in Capricorn, boy, did this one sting when I learned it. So we need a purpose. And our biggest struggle is we believe that our worth depends on consistent achievement. The fact is, we build best when we focus on sustainability rather than productivity. We're in it for the long haul. We're here to build stuff that will outlast us. Saturn in Aquarius needs meaningful independence. You really struggle with rejecting structures just because it is conventional. You succeed and build best when you create systems that fit around your life and are unique, instead of trying to copy anyone. If you have a Saturn in Aquarius, you're basically allergic to copy other people. Be your own quirky, wonderful Saturn self. Saturn in Pisces, much like Libra, you need boundaries. You really struggle with dissolving into another person or into a project. You don't know where you begin and they end. So the fact is, you build best when you can take all that creativity, intuition, compassion, and put it in a practical container with ironclad boundaries. It's super important to understand. Saturn isn't trying to make your life harder. That is not the goal. Saturn is not there to help you suffer. It's to prepare yourself and help you build a version of you that is capable of handling bigger and better things. It's a hard taskmaster, but it isn't a bloody sadist. Now it's Friday, and the Chaos Gremlin hasn't come out to play this week. So if you're a ride or die and listen to the end, let's do some mischief. So in the comments, I would love for you to comment, my Saturn is in Jupiter, because what then will happen is people that watch the entire video will then engage in the comment section telling you that you can't have Saturn in Jupiter. So stay chaotic and I'll see you soon. Bye.